Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are welcome to 2023 Elcrest Safety Day. This year's event hopes to be power-packed. And without much ado, we'll go straight to the meat of the matter with our safety moment for today. I will invite Charles to come and take the safety moment. Charles.
Good morning all. Please, can we play the video? The video we watch is self-explanatory. There are three highlights from the video. One is that
áo gì tay được không? Vâng.
I don't know if you are going to replay the video. Confirm if you can hear me, please. Yeah. If you watch the video, our workplace is highly hazardous. And if we don't manage this hazards well, we will not go home safe. Part of these laid down rules are the things we call, the rules we call life-saving rules, which we have 18 of them. When you observe all these 18, that's all about the video.
Yeah, thanks, Charles, for those explanations. There was a glitch, network glitch. That was why I couldn't. So thanks once again, Charles. The next item in the agenda is but before the MD comes, just also to reiterate what Charles said, it's important that 18 life-saving rules. I mean, the theme of our safety day this week is obey the life-saving rules, and in Elcrest we have 18 of them. And as shown on the very important for people to obey safety rules. Of course, the consequences of accident are so grave. We want you to come to work. You have your loved one. Nobody gets hurt at the place of work. That is what we preach in Elcrest. Goal zero remains our cardinal objective in Elcrest. So thanks for watching. So the MD, sir.
And welcome to our 2023 HSC week. I'm quite happy to be here to say an opening remark for this year's HSC week. The importance of this event is very will also have that seriousness attached to the event to commemorate the 7 lives that were lost on the 7/7/2020 incidents, and use that opportunity to ensure that we never have a repeat incident in our lives and our work life and in our life in general. We've run a couple of programs that showed the seriousness of this in our business, starting with the first session where BRVS Never Again, staying on the left side of the bow tie, and this year the theme of our HSC week is work in the front line or in the office or everywhere, but even in our private life, obeying these life-saving rules is very key to remaining alive and enjoying the companion of your loved ones and all of that. Particularly as a business, if we are not walking the talk on our HSC front, then the business has no chance of surviving. Because if people who come to our areas of operation cannot go back standing, then we are just formulating the recipe for extinction. So let's take it very seriously. To reinforce that message, we have tagged this year Obey the Life-Saving Rules, and we've come in all manner to make it easy for people to communicate. I particularly would say that those 18 life-saving rules, we must commit them to memory and to live by them every day in whatever we do in our operation. Thank you very much. I'm particularly interested to walk before you do any work, and that is central for everything we do. Whether the other life-saving rules like don't enter confined space without obtaining the right permit to work before you do any activity. Ensure that the necessary sign-off on those permit to work are obtained before you go, look over your shoulders to ensure that you do your job safely and do not run into any HAC incident. Thank you very much, and I wish the whole activities that are lined up by our HAC team, you will enjoy them and feel good to participate, not just only this year, but to live by these messages and reinforce them in our everyday activity. Thank you.
It's a Kema Scout session.
Yeah, I'll thank the MD for his opening remarks. The MD was spot on there. He has said it all. So we'll go straight to the next item in the agenda, which is commemoration of the 777 heroes. The 777 heroes. As you can see on the screen, the 777 heroes. So the commentary will be given by our Chief Operating Officer, John Maddle. So I hand over to our COO, John Maddle, to give a brief commentary on the 777 heroes. Over to you, COO.
Properties failed to prevent a top event. It was a day, 7 sons, 7 brothers, 7 fathers, and or fathers to be, 7 uncles, nephews, came to work to earn their daily bread, never to go back home. It was the day Kenneth Sekila came to work to earn his daily bread. He never went back home. It was a day Gift Oshoibo came to work and did not return to his family. It was a day Kevin Barambi came to work, never to be seen by his families alive anymore. It was a day Michael Etohubori came to work, expected back home, never made it. It was a day Duke Emuobo came to work and did not go back home. It was a day Festus Amosuka came to work to earn his daily bread and did not go back home. A day Solomon Ozai came to work, never to go back home. It was a day never be forgotten. For these 7 brothers and uncles and sons, I ask that we observe a 1-minute silence on their behalf at this time. May their souls rest in peace. Amen.
Amen.
And
Amen.
Amen.
And may they never be forgotten, and the sacrifices they have made never be in vain. Colleagues, I take it forward to say that the onus is on all of us to ensure that BRVS indeed never happens again. We can only do this by ensuring and doing everything we should do to stay on the left side of the bow tie at all times. Maybe easier said than done, but that requires that we are all at all times have a sense of chronic unease and making sure that we put on the barriers that needs to be in place and test that those barriers work as intended. We do this by following the life-saving rules. And for this year's, it says we must obey the life-saving rules to stay on the left side of the bow tie to then make sure that BRVS never happens again. Colleagues, I round up by saying that today is a day of reflection. It's a day like no other. And as we reflect, please let us ponder how we all as a team and collectively can work together to improve the safety of our operations, to make sure that the memories of these 7 brothers is never in vain. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. Today is indeed a day for sober reflection. Thank you, CEO. Like I said, today is indeed a day for sober reflection, and the message will definitely sink in. Without much ado, when we are starting this year's Elcrest Safety Day with the team Obey the Life-Saving Rule, there was a challenge, and that challenge was that most of the guys at the front line find it difficult to interpret the 18 life-saving rules. So management decided that there's a need for us to use the language that everybody at the front line can understand. So there was a video, 2 minutes video challenge. Beautiful entries were received by the team. And of those entries, there was one winning entry. And we are going to play the video of the winning entry for the 2 minutes life saving rule video challenge right now.
Two, carry your safety belt wey dem dey call harness belt wey you wan climb up. Number three, make you no waka pass under load wey dey hang for up. Number four, e dey important make you make call or dey answer call. Number six, if you dey for journey, follow the manifest wey oga dem say make you follow. Number seven, before you follow do the work. Number eight, check where you dey work, make sure say the machine dem dey off or dey on, and make sure say you wear wetin fit save your life. Number nine, no allow anything wey fit drop meet you. Number 10, position yourself well for your work, make machine no drag your cloth join. Make sure say oga dem dey aware say you wan dig ground. Number 12, check the area where you wan work whether gas dey. Number 13, no waka pass near or bottom electric high ten sion. Number 15, no take alcohol when you dey do work, e go worry you. Number 16, no smoke where oga dem say make you no smoke. Number 17, before you comot safety things, make oga dem know. Opala John Paul Madu Abuchi, the DSS on board with you. 18 things wey go save your life. Number 1, belt wey dem dey call harness belt wey you wan climb up. Number 3, make you no waka pass under load wey dey hang for up. Number 4, e dey important when you don enter. Number 5, when you dey drive, e no make sense make you dey make call or dey answer call. Number 6, if you dey for journey, follow the work, make sure say you get the authority paper wey oga dem dey give make you follow do the work. Number 8, check where you dey work, make sure say the machine dem dey off or dey on, save your life. Number 9, no allow anything wey fit drop meet you. Number 10, position yourself well for your work, make machine no drag your dig ground, make sure say oga dem dey aware say you wan dig ground. Number 12, check the area where you wan work whether gas dey. Number 13, where your flow. Number 14, no waka pass near or bottom electric high ten sion. Number 15, no take alcohol when you dey do work, e go worry you. Number 16, no smoke where oga dem say. Number 18, before you comot safety things, make oga dem know. Papa John Paul Madu Abuchi, the DSS on board with you.
Yeah.
18 things wey go save your life.
Like I said, we had 5 best entries, of which John Paul's entry can tops. Like I said, John Paul is the winner of the 2 minutes challenge. We also have Damilola Ola, who is the Diamond Award winner. We have Faustina Imosike, who is the Emerald Award winner 1. We also have Adamu Enemuna, who is the Emerald Award winner 2. And the last but not the least, we have Ebuka Mwigwe, who is the Gold Award winner. All these winners, fantastic prizes await them. And like you listen to that video, I tell you, you know easy, my people. You know easy. You know easy. And the idea is the language that was used in that video, the last man on the front line will be able to understand, assimilate, and go ahead and practice the 18 life-saving rules. That's the intent. Thank you very much, everyone. So the next item in the agenda is the video documentary, the first part of the video documentary. The team, I give kudos to the team. The team took time to produce this documentary. I will ask you to sit back and listen to the first part of this video documentary.
Welcome to the 2023 Safety Day celebrations. This is a very important occasion for us because we use this day, the 7th of July of every year, to commemorate Safety Day in remembrance of event that happened in our operations on the 7th of July 2020 at BRVS, where we lost 7 lives. And since after that 7th of July 2020, we've had a series of safety events to commemorate that incredible and sad event. In 2021, we started with Yes, Never Again. And in 2022, we also themed that celebration, staying on the left, meant to consolidate the effort all of us are making as a company to ensure that we never see this type of in our lifetime again. And I'm happy to report that this has been largely successful for the last 3 years with the where we had suffered no spill, no incident, no fatalities for the last 3 years. But particularly, we have tagged it obeying the life-saving rules. And this is particularly relevant for us because these life-saving rules are critical for us to continue to stay on that left side of the bow tie all the time and ensure that everyone that comes into our operation, any business to do in our operation, comes and goes back home standing, and ensure that the families that they left behind, that he meets them back, and compliance to set down, establish policies and rules, both from the board and the management employees and all our vendors that work in our sites to obey these life-saving rules. And that is what we will continue to emphasize and ensure that everyone understands it and cascade it to the various level in our organization and in our at the front line of our operations. For this year, we have also devised a way of making it reachable to everyone, irrespective of your level of education in terms of your fluency in English language. We say we will cascade it both in Pidgin English, spoken languages of communication around our area of operation, so that everyone will understand each and rules and obey them. We say if you understand these things you cannot implement. So we are encouraging even Pidgin English to cascade these messages so that people can follow and understand these life-saving rules.
My people, now welcome to the 2023 edition of these life-saving rules and why we need to obey them. The life-saving rules now rules where the International Association of Oil and Gas Producers where they make for all where they operate for the whole world. And to obey them means say we want people to stay safe. Now it make the law important. For us, now 18 of those now to use your PFD. What in the PFD? Your personal flotation devices. This na equipment where you suppose wear when you dey walk for water or near water, so that if you fall inside water, it will help you stay afloat. It is important to wear them. It dey save life. The second one where I want to talk about now to use harness. So if you dey walk for height and wetin be height, anything where you 6 feet. The feet be for scaffold, the feet be for stairs. You go use your harness so that if you fall, you no go land for ground. The last one we want to talk about, and this one na real gidigba matter. They say you go use proper work permit take the work. If you want go do hot work, you make sure say you understand waiting there for the permit and say you go do everything with the inside. If you want to do cold work, you get cold work permit and you understand them and you go do waiting the thing say make you do. Anybody will choose to disobey don't already choose not to work for Elcrest. Not do well.
It's actually a pleasure for me to speak about Elcrest, the BRVS Never Again, the journey through to on the left-hand side of the bow tie to where we are now, in where we'll reflect and deepen our conversations on the life-saving rules, especially for Elcrest. I would like to making sure that you wear your personal flotation device, especially in our operations, being a waterborne operation. This singular operation, ensuring that everybody who goes out in the waterborne operations in a day returns home safely. Whether you know how to swim or not, it is absolutely important, and I highly recommend it, that you reflect on your life. And when we say life-saving rule, think about whose life we are front line. So for every one of us who is required to wear the personal flotation devices, think about the why. Why do I have to wear this? I have to wear. So it's absolutely important. And I would say that there are two things that are important. First is making a commitment to wear it, and the second is wearing it properly. I would like to wish every one of us a very successful safety day celebration at Elcrest, and making sure that as we go forward to it, we're stronger and stronger in our operations, because good safety means good business. I would like to end also by congratulating every member of Seplat Group, Seplat family, on the 7 million man-hours of LTI-free operations. And please keep it going safely. We are all rooting for you.
Without safety, we can as well not have a business. So for us, safety is important in Elcrest, and we continue to re-emphasize that by having a safety day at this. As part of our safety day, part of what we'll be re-echoing and re-emphasizing, it's already a part of our culture, but also re-echo and re-emphasize it as the life-saving rules. And while we have 18 of it in Elcrest, we're talking specifically about one, which is when not to use your phone, especially when driving. So when driving, do not use your phone. But the key no-no is talking and chatting while using your phone. And I say this because I myself have had some near misses on that. It has been impressed and imbibed upon me. So using your phone while driving, it definitely does increase the risk, no doubt about it. And how do we mitigate that risk? Just don't use a safety harness where you can hold it in your car to direct you. Most importantly, you don't need to distract yourself by reading text or sending messages while driving. So that's speed limits. Do not rush. Even if you do rush, the maximum time you gain is probably 5 minutes, right? And compared to the life and your passenger, right? Even if your driver, even if the car driver is not following the rules, you do have a responsibility for your safety and the safety of the driver to act appropriately.
Last year we stayed on the left side of the boat tie on an event that happened 7th of July 2020. No work is too small not to have a pen, and we would not compromise on this at all. We would make sure that all the works that we do, however big it will be, we would first of all think through it, ensure that all the barriers are in place, and ensure that these are active and functional.
You go make sure say you check the environment where you want for work. You go make sure say it is safe, because you get environment where go fit cause explosion. You get hydrocarbon, flammable substances there around. So you no go just enter that environment, carry the work, if it cause explosion. So the first thing you suppose do now to conduct gas test. You will use one device where they call gas detector and the environment. Now gas detector also they help to know when you dey place where you don't fit get air, where you fit survive. Imagine say they work for confined space now. Confined space na place where for they get for outside. So now this same gas detector go help me know say the air oxygen where they there, it not go reach for you to take survive. So it is very important to they conduct gas test when you want carry out well. It not get issue. It well inspected, certified. Because if that gas detector itself no work, if it endanger people use them. So it for you to dey safe for that job where you they do. You must make sure say the environment no get any gas wey go cause explosion, especially when you do hot. You no go kill person in the place of that job where you dey do. You must make sure say you yourself when you even do that job, you dey fine, especially when you involve confined space. Person wey not dey healthy, no go fit they do work for confined space, because it go still and then it go cause more harm to ram than good. Like people that do well
over the these safety measures and safety awareness to ensure that our operations and our company becomes a safer place. So this year's theme, which is obeying the life-saving rules, is set to reiterate, re-emphasize, and recommit ourselves to the life-saving rules. So it's essential that we continue life-saving rules. There are consequences for not obeying the life-saving rules, and in the case of Elcrest, we remember the 7th July event in our history, and since then we have recommitted ourselves to safety and the safety of our operations. And this year's theme, by ensuring that we make important points out of the need to continue to obey those life-saving rules.
Rules which we are to be guided by to ensure that our team, all our workers, all our staff go to work every day and return the same way. That what we want to talk about is the validity of the work permit. Issuing a work permit, it is important that everyone understands the type of work to be done, the type of equipment to be used, the type of people. Then there is, when you are done, how to clean up the site. You are bringing the right equipment, you're bringing the right people that have the right training, and that will ensure that everybody comes to work and leaves the site. For Elcrest life-saving rules, all 18 of them, I encourage everyone to take their time to read the life-saving rules and see how it applies to you, not only at work, but your day-to-day life.
I'm here to and I will say not just common, and it is one that most violated safety rule. That has to do with wearing of your safety belt when you drive. The journey is too short and they can't wear safety because, they can't wear safety belt because it's short. And I want to tell the public, I want to tell everyone that listens to me, park that car and trick.
This is a company that takes safety so seriously. We adhere strictly to 18 rules, safety rules. Out of these 18, I want to speak a lot of lives. It has led to termination of stars in the industry, and it has truncated the growth outlook. And as a company, we take it so seriously that we adhere strictly to it. Even in the Western countries, the use of GSM wide drive is treated like a murder case. We enjoy everyone as we celebrate the 2023 safety year to adhere strictly to these rules, to defer whatever important informations that may be required. As we celebrate this year's safety year, we enjoin everyone to take this slogan seriously. Don't make the call while driving.
We're talking about life-saving rules. Different people have different numbers of the life-saving rules. But for NMPC Elcrest JV, we have carved where we say at the end of the day, they will not get any accident. They're not going to get injury. Nobody could die. So the one I want to talk about now is the number 7 of it that has to do with work permit. The purpose of work permit is so that people go get approval for the work where they won't do. So that they not just carry work where fit kill person, where they not get training for, go begin do am. That is the same way so many other 17 life-saving rules have been put in place, which I believe other professionals will talk to now about. That is the way our industry, the HSE for our industry is structured. When you follow them, there will be no accident. Waiting they kill people now over Sabi, and you know they for here.
In our operation, we don't joke with 18 life-saving rules. We always obey it. Why do we obey it? We always comply with this to ensure that every person goes home safely after work and while going to work. But today, out of the 18 life-saving rules which we operate in our assets, I'm going to talk on one. And that one I'm going to no alcohol, no drug while walking or driving. If you notice nowadays, there is drug addiction everywhere. Normally do is that during the crew change, our safety personnel will be at the jetty. They will search every person's bag, sure that we don't have any alcohol. In the past, we normally catch people with some alcohols in their bag, and they will always tell us that it helps them. We have convinced them that this thing does not help you to work hard. The only way you can work hard is to obey these safety rules, and it will also make sure you safeguard them, and it will also prolong your life. So today we are looking at it. We're almost having zero alcohol, no drug in our field areas. Flow stations, both Obama, Petoko, BRV, our safety officers try to look around, look every person. If we notice that they are being isolated some with such a drug issue, and it is a very big achievement we have, and we will continue to prove on that, because our goal, our high priority in this asset is to make
for this year safety day, it's obey life-saving rules.
Life-saving rules for me is our playbook on our Goal Zero aspirations. Let me take us through one of the life-saving rules. Rule exactly number 2 says, protect yourself and specifically height being referred to here is anything above 1.2 meters. Breaking it down further, even if na rope, you use tie yourself. So the first thing say, we what they call scaffold. You don't on that scaffold they work. This rule is saying it is not enough to stay on the scaffold. Let there be something else that is fixed somewhere for rich ground.
One of the life-saving rules that keep me on my toes as a works manager is prevention of dropped objects. This, in the drilling rig, we have almost 100 feet above the work deck. With the weight and the height of this equipment, the potential to cause major injury and even fatality is a key measure that we take in ensuring that we have an enabling environment out there in our work site. A few weeks ago, we had an acid drum dropped from a height of about 6 feet, spilling its content. That had the potential to cause a lot of damage. We never take our eyes off the ball. Hence, obeying the life-saving rule remains a vital measure that we should take in ensuring enabling environment and safe working environment in our activities.
In commemoration of the Elcrest on permit to work, which is very key because it's legal and compliance related. It is imperative that where permit is required, obtained, it must be signed, and everything contained in the permit must be adhered to. And if there is a change in the type of permit that has been granted to do that work, then a subsequent permit must then be raised to make sure that there are no breaches. The important thing is that where there are rules, there are work in a safe environment.
We need to recall how safety rules came into being. Safety rules came into being because of prior accidents that we left those rules in place. Nobody wants to be a victim of an accident that leads to the creation of another safety rule. Due to accidents that have taken place in the past, seatbelts were put in place. And now that these seatbelts are in place, it is important on all of us to make sure that we wear seatbelts properly anytime that we're in a vehicle, regardless of how far we're traveling in on, and especially the seatbelt should be 3-point seatbelt, except in cases where the vehicle that we're in has only a 2-point system, or in public transport vehicles that seatbelts. We make sure that all the passengers, both in the front seat and the back seat, are also wearing their seatbelts. And we'll make sure that we put the seatbelts on before we start moving. Let's save lives, promote the use of seatbelts, and let us stay safe in all that we do.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are back again. We hope you enjoyed the first part of the video documentary. Like they say, all work and no play makes not only Jack, including myself and many of us, has the potential to make us dull. So at this juncture, the young lady by my right here is going to take us through fastest finger. We want to know those that have fast fingers. And Kema, I hand over to you to take it from there.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Welcome to this year's Fastest Fingers quiz. So we're going to do another Kahoot session, like how we've done in previous meetings. So the rules are the same. I'll share my screen and then we will take it from there. So for the Kahoot, the code, as usual, the code is on the screen. So please feel free to scan the, select an avatar if you want, and then let's make it fun and interesting. So there will be a number of questions. We will take it through. And we'll find out who the winner is at the end of the session. So there is a big prize at the end. So I hope everyone is ready. Ooh, we have a lot of people. I don't know. Okay, awesome. We have a lot of people in the room. This is good. Okay, so let's give just 1 more minute and then we would start the whole session. Please, if you're having any difficulties logging in, just talk to your neighbor. There will be someone that can help you. But it's quite easy. Scan the barcode, put in the game PIN number as displayed, and then choose a name, nickname, and avatar. So like we said, there will be a number of different questions. So before we start, I'll just go through the rules. There will be questions where you can take one answer or have multiple answers. So, but trust me, forward, and I'm sure there will be, it's be easy peasy for everyone in the room. Okay, so we will start right away. We have a very, very full house. This is the best participation I have seen in a really long time, so yay. Okay, so we'll start right away. So this is the 2023 Elcrest Safety Day, and the safety day is obey the life-saving rules. So just like I said, there are questions, but for this Kahoot session, there are also reactions, so you can use the emojis in front of you to just say how you're feeling for the questions, whether you're happy, whether do that. So the questions will be true or false, single, multiple select, and so it's called fastest finger because the faster you're able to select the correct answer. So true or false? This life-saving rule refers to walking under a suspended load. True or false? So on your device, just select what the answer is or the symbol. Okay, so even though it looks like a load, that's actually the lift plan. So the answer is false. Okay, so we had 47 answers in the last one, and then Dr. Ben is leading the scoreboard. Let's move to the next one. So this is a quiz, double points. So which symbol of the symbols below represent a dropped object? So we have 30 seconds on the clock. Okay, count down, 5 more seconds. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we had 50 answers in the last session, and then the correct answer is C, which is the circle. Okay, so levels have changed hands. Tamua is now in the lead, followed by Hans, Karium, Dr. Ben, and Denny. He has just jumped 9 places in just this last session. Okay, next question, a quiz. Feel free to choose multiple answers, and for a driver for the company, Elcrest, what should you do to ensure that you follow the prescribed journey management plan? Should you confirm there's a journey management plan before you start the journey? Follow the route specified in the journey management plan. Tell the authorized persons immediately in the journey management plan. So if there's a change, in the journey management plan, so correct. So the correct answer actually is all of the above. So all 4 should be selected. These are all the things that a person would do if they were to follow the journey management plan. Okay, awesome. So let's see who is leading the way. Bingpei is in the lead, okay. So we have Bingpei, Dr. Ben, Debiyi, Oma, and Akyom. Right. Akim. Okay, so that's awesome. And then, yeah, we can move on to the next section. This life-saving rule says to ensure that the lightning arrestor is in a secure location within the facility. So just say whether it's true or false. So yes, that's actually false. Well done. So 23 people got that right. So let's move on. Who is leading? Okay, we still have the same contenders. Dr. Ben taking the lead from Bingpei. So Dr. Ben, Bingpei, Debiyi, KK, and Cindy. Okay, so one of the life-saving rules, which is the first one, says to obtain authorization before entering. What is a confined space? So is it an area large enough so that a person can enter? and then it has a restricted means of exit and entry. Is that true or is that false? Does confined space mean something else? Okay. Time's up. But indeed, that is a confined space. A confined space is an area that is large enough such that a person can enter with restricted means of entry and exit. So maybe there's only one exit, doesn't have enough space to move around. So that's it. Moving on, next question. Let's see who is on the scoreboard. So, Dr. Ben is leading, followed by B, Cindy, NN, and Oma. What life-saving rule is being ignored in this picture? / shapes that show you that corresponds with what you feel is the correct answer. So yes, indeed, a floating device, a personal floating device is not being used by the person in that picture. So okay, so we're moving on to the next question. Who's leading the scoreboard? Dr. Ben, still holding strong. Okay, followed by B question. So this is life-saving rule number 18. It says, obtain authorization before overriding or disabling safety critical equipment. So some of those equipment include isolation devices, emergency shutdown valves, relief valves, fire and gas alarms. So the question here is, if you were working on the field as a field worker, who do you obtain authorization from before overriding any of this equipment? Would it be the contractor in charge, the supervisor, or do you directly call the COO or call the MD to obtain authorization? You take the permission from? Okay, 47 people got that right. And Dr. Ben is still leading this scoreboard. Are we going to let him win? We need people to take over. So after that, we have Biggie, we still have Oma in the running, and standing strong climber. He has climbed up 4 places between the last section and now. Okay, so this is a true or false. So the life-saving rule that says no alcohol or drugs, prescribed medication, true or false? Five seconds left. Okay, so the right answer is actually false. If you have your prescribed medication, as long as it does not affect your performance, so paracetamol or any other thing prescribed by a doctor, provided that it doesn't affect your performance. Right. And who is leading? Dr. Ben is holding strong. So we have Oma following that, and Bimpe is back on the scoreboard. Yay! Followed by Dami, and then NN. Okay? So let's keep going. A quiz, double points. So is it 1, 2, 3? Okay, so that's a tricky one, but the correct answer is actually 2. So a lot of safety issues in the picture, but regarding life-saving rules, it's standing under a suspended load. Unfortunately, only three people got that right. So let's see. Who are those 3 people? Dr. Ben is still strong. Actually, there's not that much movement. That means that question was a bit tricky. Apologies. But then we have Oma, Bigpe, Dami. So the final question, the make or break of this competition. What life-saving rules refers to positioning yourself to a moving and energized equipment? You can just select one from the list. So the correct answer is B, or blue, or the diamond. It depends on which one you are using. Okay, so who is the winner of this? Drum roll. Tension going. Who do you think? Let's guess in the comment section. Guess who you think the winner is. But am I still sharing my screen? Okay. Can I go? Okay. Yes. I should continue. Okay. Okay, so let's see who the winner is. Drum roll, please. In 3rd place, we have Dami. Yay! In 2nd place, we have Dr. Ben. And the winner of all winners, Oma. Wow! Congratulations. Congratulations to the winners. So, we have a prize for the first 4 people. So the first prize, the first 5 people. The first prize, that's Oma, gets 20K for, depending on your network that you use, 20K for you, Oma. For you, Dr. Ben, 2nd place, in fact, for Dr. Ben, for Dami, and all the other 3 other people, the 2nd to 5th place, they all get 10,000 Naira worth of airtime for their use. So thank you everybody for participating. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful participation. I guess the winner is Oma, right? Omar, you did a wonderful job, and the other 4 persons gave you a very hot chase. Thanks all for participating. At this juncture, we will break for about 10 minutes for each team to digest and reflect on the theme of this year's Elcrest Safety Day. And after that, we will come back to receive feedback from each location. Yes, so if you go to the question and answer session, comment session, please put in your questions or your comments. We are collecting those questions for feedback purposes, feedback mechanism. So like I said, we will break now, and for each location to reflect. Metioku, I hope you can hear me. BRVS, you can hear me. Opuama, you can hear me. So we encourage us to break for about 10 minutes now, and we'll come back after 15 minutes. Basically, we'll be coming back at about, let's say, around 11:30. I hope that's fine by us. We'll resume back by 11:30 to collect feedback from the sessions. So like I said, go to the chat box. We encourage us to go to the chat box, make our comments, our questions. Session. So thank you everyone. As we break out, see you back after 50 minutes.
welcome back once again.
You're on mute, Chinedu.
You are welcome back once again. I hope you had an interesting breakaway session. Having come back, we will start getting feedback from different locations. Starting with the rig. The rig, I don't know who will give us your feedback. We are putting you live. I think you can speak to us.
All right, thank you very much. Can you all hear us from the rig?
The rig, we cannot hear
Hello,
you.
can you hear us from the rig?
Okay, go ahead, we can hear you, go ahead.
All right, we during our recap session, we took our time to have helped in the past, how it's helping us, and how it's yet going to help us in completing our subsequent tasks safely and efficiently. Several hazardous locations and equipment, so to say, ranging from the explosive gas here and there, the welding gases, the chemicals we have, and of course, the cuttings, security cognizance, and indeed, it was a good time deliberating and fathoming how we are going to put the life saving, having our task completed safely. Yes, if you realize on the rig, one of the concurrent things we have on the rig every day has to go do with the suspended load. Personnel on the rig are all usually reminded not to permit to work. It's one of the rules that has saved lives and we continue to save lives, making sure that is obtained ahead of tasks that requires same. And it was a good deliberation here on the rig. On how we can use these life-saving rules to achieve goal zero going forward. Thank you, and that's add to that.
Thank you, the rig team observations. Where we need to improve, we will definitely get back to you. Thank you. Next location is
Thanks. You're welcome.
Betioku team. Are you there? We are putting you live.
Okay, I want to thank the management, for this remembrance. Today the Betioku team, joins, the JV team, in OML 40, to remember the BROVS incident, that took the lives of, 7 of our colleagues, brothers, friends, fathers, husbands, and sons, on the 7th of July, 2020. We in Betioku field are committed, to obey the 18 life-saving rules. We don't just want to obey it only, but we want to understand it fully, and we want to also be an advocate, and the ambassador of the 18 life-saving rules, both in our place of work, and our homes. Safety rules is not just to keep their job, but it is also to ensure that they return home, safely, meet, their families. To save, the way, we met it, and we also ensure that we don't damage our company reputation. Incidentally, the global alpha, and today, 7th of July, we are celebrating the 3rd anniversary, of the the BROVS incident. So this, has taught us, a great lesson, and we want to urge management, to
Thank you, Dr. Oli and team. That's a strong assurance from Betioku. Next, we'll be going over to BRVS. I don't know if they are... Okay, I think they are in now. Yeah, welcome Betioku team. BRVS, sorry. You can speak to us now, you are live. I think your network is not okay. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself, please. Check your settings, BRVS. We cannot still hear you, BRVS. I think let's go to Opama while you correct your settings. Welcome, Opama team. You are live now. Can you talk to us?
We're not hearing you.
Can you hear Opama?
Opama, we can hear you.
Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. In Opama here, we work with our daily life-saving rules that permit and risk assessment in all the jobs we are doing here. We also follow safety science information in the process area, and then we wear and maintain our appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE. To clear the obstruction and to clear the access way from obstruction. And we also maintain awareness of that we are. We use the right tools in the
There is what you know. When you face camera, it was supposed to flow. That pass this one. I supposed to flow. How was my presentation? Sure.
Okay, I said we also use our correct manual lifting techniques, and then we obey the process area.
Yes,
You don't work under a suspended fluid. Stop work authority if there's need to stop any work.
Thank you, sir.
We'll
definitely get back to you if there once again.
Right, thank you. Right.
BRVS team, I don't know if you are there now. If not, we go over to Benin office. BRVS, you are live.
Pascal, I commented in the chat section to please type in your questions in the chat box. Because of time, we would prefer if the questions are in the chat box, then we would answer them afterwards. Please just type in the chat box, Pascal. Sorry, we're time limited. Apologies. Sorry.
BRVS, can you speak now? Still the same thing. BRVS, you can the team were prepared to talk to us, but unfortunately the network is not allowing you. So please, BRVS team, make use of the chat box so that we can. Benin office. Benin office, are you there? Okay. Let's take Lagos office. With me here is
Are we all right? We're live?
So, people will talk to us.
Right.
Thank you.
Hi guys, good afternoon. Oh, sorry, still morning, so good morning. I will be talking about what we discussed during the feedback session. So the first was the clever. One of the questions from the Kahoot. I think the question was. I think the question basically was a clarification on the in the field. BE asked if you took drowsy medication in the field, how should you go about taking that? And if you have to take any prescription in the field so that it doesn't affect your ability to deliver on your work. Secondly, it was brought up to the attention of that is where we are working with equipment. But in the offices, there isn't any top of mind on life-saving rules. Kema recommends posting visuals of life-saving rules in the offices. And Charles then suggested that we would look into handing out about the life-saving rules. We discussed on what are difficult life-saving rules to adhere to, and also concern about taking public transport. While you have control driving your car, and you can use the seat belts then, but when you're taking public transport, they might not have seat belts. In some situations, some people feel that when you're in the back seat, there's no need for you to use seat belts. So while we're moving around, it turns out that things like maybe Uber and Bolt, they would maybe have seat belts. And if you're in the back seat, don't feel you're safe. Been in an accident 2 years ago where the only thing that saved the people in the back seat is the fact that they were wearing their seat belts. We should note that on impact, there's likelihood seat belt, you are more likely to hurt the people in the car than the accident actually would hurt the people in the car, because you might move around, hit the driver, hit the people in your seat belts. Thirdly, we talked about the possibilities of ensuring that all our supervisors are very well, they are trained properly regarding life-saving rules, and if the supervisors are more up-to-date about new safety recommendations coming up in the fields, then they will be able to pass it on to Chinonso and Chinedu in the Lagos office recommended possible online trainings to make sure their safety certificates are up to date for least. We spoke about including the families of the people who lost their lives during the BRVS accident in our Elcrest, such a day like this, just to make sure that they understand that we keep them and their families in mind, and also maybe send the link to maybe the YouTube channel or the team's invite.
Thank you. That's a good one. Which is the second part of the video documentary. Please sit back, don't go away. Remember, we are going to announce the winners of our various awards. You might be one of them. To greet the MD on live, online. So don't go away.
Everybody wey dey go work, wherever you dey live, you go enter motor. As you dey enter motor, or you dey drive, or you enter Elcrest number 4 life-saving rule. Life-saving rule na the ogbonge rule wey international oil and gas producing company set up. Though different companies, if you follow them, people no go dey die, equipment no go damage, and environment no go spoil. And this rule na im dey guide the oil and gas industry. Now Elcrest wey be very good company come say one of the rule wey part of the house rule number 4, they say wear your seat belt. Seat belt na that small, so that when the car or the driver dey go wrong way or go knock another motor, go hit another motor, the seat belt will keep you in place and to reduce impact. So please wear your seat belt so that you go safely go work for Elcrest or wherever you go, and you go also safely go see your children, your wife and your loved ones for home. Even for speedboat song, they get seat belt. When you see them, wear them.
This year's theme is about life-saving rules, and I'm happy to be talking about the number 5 life-saving rule, which is, while it's very easy for us to get caught up in today's world, we're always on our phones, sometimes work, sometimes social media, so we need to avoid this. Also, we need to stay within the prescribed speed limit. Also, we need to adjust the speed to the speed limit and also to the traffic. Also, we should not intervene when a driver is driving. We should try not to distract that driver, because also that's good.
That would ensure that he or she and he or her colleagues don't have fatalities. According to the IOGP, fatalities are unwanted in industry. So from where we're coming from, after the BRVS incident, during our first anniversary, we said BRVS never again. And going further, the theme of our second anniversary was on the left side of the bow tie, that we still have pockets of incidents. So that's why this year's theme is very apt. Obey the life-saving rules, because these are rules that take actions that will prevent them from having accidents, fatalities, and what have you. So in case the worker a violation of the life-saving rule, maybe your fellow worker is not obeying the life-saving rule, the first action we expect him or her to then report to your immediate supervisor. From time to time, we run campaigns, and we've done campaigns on the life-saving rule. And somebody might ask, how do you determine whether those campaigns are effective? The incident trend, look at the accident statistics, look at the scenarios involved in different accidents, and if the 18 life-saving rule, then you can simply say yes, that the campaign is successful.
Safety is everybody's business. It concerns everybody. So every one of us is a key player in keeping one another safe, and in fact, the company also has a responsibility under the law to make sure that people that work with us are safe. Everyone that comes to work whole in one company back home at the end of the way, the same way they came to work. We don't want anybody to come to work whole and return back home disabled. Whenever load is going to be suspended and carried, so there should be a flag man that in the arm's way.
I want to say a big thank you to everyone for keeping our operations safely. And one of the life-saving rules is to continue to wear our seat belts at all times, irrespective of the length of the journey or wherever we're sitting in the car. Make sure we wear our seat belt.
We need to observe these rules for us to be safe in our operations. For example, life-saving rule number 15. How do you apply this in our operation? If you know you are going to work, do not drink. If you must drink, stay away from work. Somebody who is under the influence of alcohol will always have poor sense of judgment, impaired vision, and that person is accident in waiting. If he is found in our operation, please report him to your supervisor or the HS officers for action to be taken, so that
suspended load. As you know, load wey crane dey carry are suspended. It is unsafe to walk or walking, like say you dey waka under those suspended load is unsafe, as the load can fall on you. The load will fall. When the load fall on top of you, now they say the person go die. So any object where they lifted, whether temporarily or other jobs to be done around that area, you must make sure, say you know go there. So that is it. Any load where they suspended, whether na small or being a big, make sure say you know go near them, because that load will fall and kill you, and that is not. We want you to come to work and go home safely.
My Elcrest Benin office be this. Today I want to talk about our life-saving rule. If you now remember, now 18 life-saving rule with there. If you see that place when I dey point, so that sticker when they there, the 18 life-saving rule they there. But I want to talk of only one when they very important like others. For Benin here now, power line when it carry high voltage. So the number 14 say, make we no walk or stay under power line. For Benin here, you see say many people they stay under power line. The high voltage fit burn person house. So I beg, if you see anybody when they stay under power line, make you advise them more.
Check and verify isolation before we work for equipment when carry power. or carry energy. And immediately we will go shut off the power, and we sure say that thing they don't do it well before we start to work. The kind equipment when they get this kind of thing, now like mud pump them, agitators them, and even pipe when carry pressure. Before we work for them, we go make sure see off and then lock them, so that when we dey work, make person no come introduce power when go make the equipment begin work with our hand inside. If we want work for line, pipeline, when get power, pressure inside, we go shut them off and isolate it, and person go hold them, make them work finish before they go come put them back on. If we want work for a place where we get electricity for electrical equipment, we go make sure see the power when they supply them, we don't go switch them off and person lock them, say nobody go put them on the time when we dey work. So now very important life-saving rule, make you know be say somebody dey work for equipment and we come put energy for them, and the equipment begin work with the person, make you know.
Work permit before you carry out any job. Before you do any job, make sure say you obtain a valid work permit to enable you people work safe. Personnel to be safe and the environment to be safe. One of the hazard inside is that you people must to know the area you people want to work and to make sure the house not a joke. It is na official document. It should be taken carry out any job, so that everybody that is carrying out the job and people surrounding will work safe. Any job, make sure say una carry out, take work valid work permit. Make una work safe and do
take permission before equipment. Now they help protect us for plants. So this safety critical equipment then be like things where they help protect equipment and also protect personnel when we dey work. Example na switches, so safety shutdown valves, so emergency shutdown valves, so pressure relief valves, so and other things where they put inside the equipment where fit help protect the equipment and so protect us. So before you override or before you remove this or make sure say make dem no function well, you must take permission from the supervisor wey dey in charge of the work to ensure say that equipment dey work. And from time to time we must also check this equipment to ensure say dem go dey work, so that when we need them, dem go help us do their work.
Permit to work is a formal written tool that is used to control workplace hazard, and we use it to control, hazards or jobs that are non-routine. So if we have a contractor, for example, a third-party contractor, and we have assessed the job that he's going to do, and we have concluded that the job is a hazardous job, which requires permit to work, that is fit for the job. It may be hot work, it may be cold work. So we go tell all our workers, say, this is the permit which we dey use to control hazard at workplace, so that accident no go happen. We use it to prevent accident from happening. So, and it has been very effective for us. And our contractors too attest to it, that tool that we put in place, it dey work for them. So, and the permit to work, we teach them on their behalf, but their supervisor sign it and he own it, so that he will know that nothing bad will happen to his workers.
Confined space is an enclosed or partially enclosed, either above or underground. Example, vessels, tank, pipes, cellars, or excavation. in a confined space, there are some requirements that must be met before a personnel enters a confined space. One of which is that the person an authorization issued for such an activity. There must be gas testing to test the area in which the person wants to work to see that you don't have accumulated gas, toxic or explosive gas within that space. Now, there must be breathing apparatus before a person enters a confined space. And then you must ensure the functionality and reliability of such a breathing apparatus, right? And during confined space, the gas testing must be carried out continuously, and there must be a standby attendant during a confined space entry. Also, there must be emergency and rescue plan put in place so that in case of an emergency, such a plan is activated.
No use drug or alcohol while working in the station. Alcohol and drug use no good for our body. This alcohol, they make us high, and we suppose dey ground when we dey work. If you take too much of this alcohol or you no say right before, you no go know say e dey right now. You go begin do wrong things, think say e dey right. But for workplace, we want to make it be say everybody dey right all the time. So if you dey on drugs from your doctor, abeg take note from the doctor. Come give your oga for office, say, oga, I dey take this kind drug when go affect me and go make me dey drowsy or sleepy when I dey work. So that paper go excuse you from work that day. Now who safe? Now you go house.
In reference to our job, we are in charge of all the process of receiving crude from the shuttle vessel and injecting into the pressure line, which is a complicated operation. And you all notice that if anybody is on alcohol or high, it will be difficult to maintain all the process, which can lead to accident. This saving rule of no alcohol has been useful to maintain a safe work in the injection area.
Anytime where you walk, anything where they for above your head, no say you no suppose they there, because that thing where they above your head fit fall anytime, and if you fall, if he wound you, a place where the person they walk, you no suppose do anything where go make it look finish the work when it starts. Whenever you are walking, make sure that you are risking your life. Even the crane where I've been taught, if you mobilize crane, certify all the equipment, say everything fine, say it meets all the standards. Even in that state, anything or lifting gear gets fault, the road will collapse. And when the road collapses, it will land on your head. Also, if peradventure, the lifting gear, the load will fall and it will damage it. It's also if the hydraulic for the crane, the hose burst, the load go say come down. If the sling fail, as you go about doing your work, make sure say nothing dey above your head when you dey work, so that you don't get yourself injured.
For the 18 life-saving rule, the number we I want to talk about na number 6. And number 6 talks say follow prescribed journey management. So wetin that one mean? The way our oga don put am down for paper if we want go anywhere. Make we dey put our name for the wetin dem dey call manifest. Make we make sure say we know the road where we want follow, reach where we dey go. On the road, we make sure say we not carry anybody wey may not be part of the name wey they don already write down. And so make sure say the fuel wey we dey carry, e go fit take us from where we dey go reach where we dey where we were comot, go reach where we dey go. Then the thing wey you talk about be say we go know the hazard wey dey for the road, so that those things wey we fit have na road now we dey, we no go too much dry speed. We will follow the speed wey they recommend for us. We no go overtake anyhow. When you reach bending corner, you no go overtake for bending corner because you know the. Then after that,
when you reach where you dey go, the paper wey dem give you make you take comot for where you for comot, you go give am to the oga dem wey dey for that place to tell them say you don arrive, and the people wey you carry dey arrive that place. For river, we dey call am marine journey management.
Yeah, sorry
if you
for
dey go
that.
for river, you no go cross the thing wey dey set for road wey dey take dey catch fish, that thing wey dey call fisher net. And then if you see small boat for road, you go slow down for them, make you not make them tumble for water. So when you reach where you dey go, the send this paper so go give am to the oga dem wey dey for the other side, tell them say you don arrive.
The job itself is full of hazard, very critical hazards, and this is water body operation. If anything happen here, the next moment the community around us will be impacted. And so for that reason, we don't want to have situation where we will lose containment or damage the environment due to our operation before we put off any safety critical device for any reason except you are authorized to do so. You don't have right to override it or disable them. And if you must do so, you must talk with your boss, your oga. Your oga should know, and your oga go give you go ahead. Go and do it. And a book is kept to make sure everything is followed. And that book, what the importance of that book is, when you want to go, when you have gotten the authorization from your oga, you will go and write in the book, say you write the date and why you want to override or disable that safety critical device. Everywhere in the world, wherever you override safety critical devices without authorization, there is a consequence, and that is very, very severe.
Just behind me here is the arrival manifold. The arrival manifold is here, and what we are presently doing, we are trying to receive a new well. You need safety precautions, you need to put in safety precautions and everything. They have the safety culture already. We tried our best to ensure that incidents are reduced to the barest minimum. For a long time, after July 7th episode at BRVS, we have put more into safety to ensure that safety is our first priority, second priority, third priority, before we consider other things.
Permit to work na authorizing document where would they use they control non-routine and critical tasks on the rig. The document make sure say person where he get knowledge of the job where you want carry out, don't inspect the work area, don't identify the hazard, don't also put control in place before he go authorize the job. So for permit to work, not be just say the paperwork, na be the main thing. The thing be say the permit, the paper, not be they make the work safe, but now for we to comply with waiting we talk say we go do for inside that paper, now they make the work safe. For permit to work, we get 3 persons where they sign. Person in charge of the work, the person where go do the job. Responsible person, the supervisor where they in charge of that work area, and the authorizing person, which in this case, the senior tupucha or his designee. So the permit to work don't really help us where to make sure say our work they incident free.
We must obtain authorization before we enter any confined space for work. Confined space don't kill many people. Unauthorized entry don't kill many people. So that is the reason why from the lessons where we don't learn, the company say make we get permit to work, make we gas test. There is something we call potential hazard relating to gas. So that potential hazard, so when we do gas test, and then we go know whether we get enough oxygen for somebody to breathe when he's inside. And if enough oxygen no dey, we go stop the person from entering. Then if we want to do any other confined space job will not be must pit entry, we go put air to blow the space. Make sure say the space, any form of oxygen deficiency, say enough oxygen no dey inside where somebody no go fit dey there work.
then that thing, we remove them. Risk mitigation measures first, so that somebody no go inside, go walk, come pass there, die.
The place where they walk, a place where go fit catch fire because of gas, crude. So they are part of what can easily catch fire. So because of it, we don't normally allow people to smoke outside designated area because it might lead to explosion, which might cause damage to our assets, losing of assets, losing of work, and losing of personnel.
Authorized permits for working or disabled critical equipment. We have a series of them, valves, breakers, switches, and other of them. Now, if you are going to work in a line, you must know what you are going to do there, and you have to issue a permit to carry out that task before doing it. Now, you want to work in a line, you can't just come and enter the line, begin to work. You must walk it first, that is, pass through it and see, just assess it, do your assessment around the place. After that, you now know the areas that you will disable, the areas you will knock out before entering the section you want to work. You must double check and make sure so your conscience is certified that yes, I've done my double checking on this work I want to do.
I would want to speak on something which is very, very important, which we really look at in this field. It has to do with drugs and alcohol abuse. Yes, you heard me right. That drug, alcohol, we all understand as it flows. Sometimes we need them to like cool down the body, but it's an abuse when once you get into a system like this, we have rules and regulations. You will definitely know that drugs that are not being prescribed for you, even the common, medications you take, you get where you go take them, it go still become abuse. Even the common paracetamol, Panadol, and the rest of those things, and it will turn to abuse. It will not work well. It will give you a wrong, perspective of the original, what it was supposed to do for you. And at the same time, alcohol. You know that alcohol, say drink away your sorrows. But in this system, no, we not fit run like that. When once we do, definitely it's going to give you a wrong interpretation of almost everything you do. So we try as much as possible to stay within the confinement of these rules and regulations. No drugs abuse, no alcohol abuse, no alcohol on site, no matter how small. And if for any reason you want take medications, or they say make them put something for agbo for you, make you take, make it cure ulcer, make it cure that thing, please, you need to let the site medic know. And we need to understand what you are taking, so that the medical doctor on site go fit direct you, go fit tell you, see how you go take. Or if you take some medication, they go tell you, oh yeah, take some time rest or have this time to rest. And if there's some medications where you dey take, maybe you get some medical conditions, when once
Okay, can you see us? Can you see us? Can you see us? Confirm you can see us and hear us.
You're not sharing your screen.
You are seeing us. Can you hear
We can
us?
hear it, we can see it.
Okay.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay, so not to worry. Yes, during the breakout session, we looked at the house rule number 5. Basically, it was a contentious discussion. Why is it contentious? Because he said, while driving, do not use your phone and do not exceed speed limits. The first aspect generated some concern, and that was because people were saying that with the advent of technology, the use of hands-free, the use of Bluetooth in cars, why can't you use them while driving? So we discussed and we came to a conclusion that, well, we can be driving, even with using your Bluetooth, you can even get a very, very severe disheartening news on your phone, and that could lead you to a terrible situation. You may not concentrate. So we tend to agree wholly that while driving, do not use your phone, even if you have a Bluetooth. Just drive to the side of the road if it's safe and it's caused. Then thereafter, you can move on. And of course, exit come to on everybody, because with the advent of technology in cars, people will argue that you want to use it. But of course, like we discussed in Benin here, we don't need to use it. Thank you, and move on. Thank you. I don't know.